The cuisine of Andalucía, whether honoring traditional dishes or over-the-top modern techniques, is a distinctively Mediterranean cuisine. Like most cuisines, it is defined by location, cultural heritage, and the bounty of regional ingredients. Vegetables and fruits, legumes, complex carbohydrates, and of course a strong foundation in extra virgin olive oil are the hallmarks of this cuisine. Let's look at how Andalusian chefs take these fresh ingredients and adapt recipes handed down through the generations to provide restaurant customers with delicious menu items, whether it is casual style or fine dining. We'll look at a rustic staple of the region, migas. We'll sample a modern take on a corn soup that could also be served as a tapa. We'll look at some traditional and modern desserts and several seafood dishes. With a coastline that touches two oceans, it's not surprising that fish and seafood play a prominent role in Andalusian cuisine. And with an abundance of oil, deep frying food, including fish, has been part of the cuisine for thousands of years. In Granada, one famous restaurant deals in almost nothing but fried fish. This is Los Diamantes, a cross between a tapas bar and a restaurant, where crowds gather every night to tapear before dinner or to chow down on fried shrimp, squid, or baby octopus. The fish is always fresh and crisp, not oily. In most cases, it is battered and then fried in extra virgin olive oil. Chef Celia Jimenez shows us a deep-fried fish that is not battered, but is dipped in a flour made especially for frying, which according to Jimenez is a more coarsely ground flour. It gives a crisp, crunchy exterior to the fried fish that goes very well with the supple texture inside. This fish is bacalao, or salt cod, and is fried in extra virgin olive oil. Bacalao like this has been used for untold generations as the fish served during the many fasting days of the church calendar. Chef Juan Morilla at El Claustro in Granada, winner of Spain's Best Chef Bocuse d'Or competition in 2009, prepares a sturgeon from local producers in Rio Frio.
Here we have a very special dish with very intense flavors and aromas. When we receive the sturgeon from our purveyor, as odd as it might sound, we leave the fish in the walk-in for 5 days or so that it can rest. Contrary to all other fish, where the fresher the better, with sturgeon slightly aged fish is better. It is a fish that has a lot of collagen that needs time to break down so that when we cook it, we end up with a tender product. We accompany it with Jerusalem artichoke or sunchoke puree. We also accompany the fish with a baby squid that we have grilled with just olive oil, then sliced into little rings. And finally, we're going to add the very special sturgeon that we have been glazing in au jus that is composed of 50% veal glaze and 50% fish fumé, which gives us a very interesting surf and turf aspect, or as we say, mar y montaña. You'll feel like you're eating meat in some bites and fish in others.
Even chefs with a notable reputation for invention and innovation are still rooted in tradition. García shows us how to make migas, a hearty dish that is as central to the cuisine of southern Spain as pasta is to Italy or couscous is to Morocco.
Migas are a very traditional dish from the mountainous regions. People would normally eat it before they go out to the country to tend the herds or to pick up the olives or some kind of hard work like that. As you can see here, the components are Iberico pork pancetta or bacon, chorizo, also made from Iberico, garlic, green pepper, and bread. The bread has been a little toasted. And of course, olive oil. We place a pancetta and we fry it. It has to be torradito, which is what we say for when it acquires color or toasts a little. It means crispy or well cooked. Let's add the green peppers now, which are not spicy, by the way. As you can see, what we have done with the garlic is to cover it in oil and roast it very, very slowly until it is soft. So let's add the garlic. These are crumbs from normal bread from the day before. What we do is to dry the crumbs in the oven even more for a little bit. We have to be patient with the migas and allow them to touch the bottom of the pan and let them crisp up with the fat we already had there. We are barely going to stir now, and in about 5 minutes it should be done.
In Granada, a humble shop owner shows us the simplicity of good food. Francisco Lillo is the first to admit that he's no fancy chef, but at his lovely small gourmet paradise, La Oliva, he prepares a simple and delicious dish that relies entirely on great products, starting with Iberian pork, a tender sirloin, or solomillo, cut in medallions.
So we start putting a little bit of salt on the medallions, and now pepper. This is an olive oil from Jaen, made with picual. I put here a little bit of salt, and I first crush the bay leaf. Now we crush the garlic.
A dash of extra virgin olive oil from nearby Baeza,
We put the oloroso.
a splash of aromatic olorosa sherry, and a humble camp stone. With a fragrance of garlic, bay leaves, parsley, and the sherry, it makes a dish fit for the annals of gastronomy.
We put the meat again. I have to say to you that I think oloroso with meat is a perfect combination cooking.
When recipes and techniques are handed down from generation to generation, even with modern twists, they become affectionately called traditional cuisine. Maria García Morillo at the estate Castillo de Canena takes a traditional cream of corn soup that could be served as an appetizer or tapa, but reintroduces it with unique flavors and textures. This traditional soup uses all local ingredients, but with some unique garnishes. After pureeing the corn with cream, salt, and pepper, she strains the mixture. Now for a most unusual ingredient, corn nuts, which Maria crushes in her mortar for a garnish for the soup. But first, for contrast, she garnishes the soup with cubes of foie gras, then sprinkles the crushed corn nuts, and finally a dose of Castillo de Canena Arbequina olive oil to top it all off and marry the flavors together. The traditional recipes of Andalusian cuisine are woven into the fabric of everyday life, of what was grown in the backyard or farm down the road. Andalusians live and eat healthy as a matter of course, and desserts are no exception. José Carlos García at Café de París in Malaga introduces us to a dessert made with fresh local fruits.
We're going to cook these peaches for approximately 25 minutes with star anise, vanilla, and a little water in the oven. It can also be done sous vide. These ones in particular were made in the oven at about 260 degrees Fahrenheit, 125 degrees Celsius. Like I said, for about 25 minutes or until we have a nice soft texture. The ice cream flavor is what we call here in the region toasted custard, which in practical terms could be compared to a creme brulee or a creme catalane. It is essentially a custard over which we toasted the caramel, and we have made the base with that. We have frozen this to -4 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 degrees Celsius, for at least 24 hours, and we will process it in this machine right here that makes the ice cream in less than a minute. So this is the custard. It's hard and frozen right now, with tiny little blades that shave really small ice crystals off of our custard. And now we have this ice cream in less than a minute. And now the raspberry puree is already prepared, will be produced as a foam and submerged in alginate bath to form a pellicle. It will stay liquid inside, but on the outside it is completely surrounded. It is a spherification. What the bath is doing right now is creating a pellicle on the outside. See, the thing is, when the puree starts losing its chill, the foam starts flattening and losing the emulsion. With this coating, this pellicle will prevent the liquefied foam from escaping. This technique is called inverse spherification, where the bath is done in alginate, where before, with the other spherification, the alginate was mixed into the product. This is a very advanced technique that is being utilized throughout the world. The great thing is when you apply it to a traditional cuisine, which is what we've done here, it gives it a little more of a contemporary feel. I mean, we have traditional and simple peach and raspberry puree, but with this, we can bring it to a whole new level. This is one of the characteristics of our cuisine. Without losing our character or identity, we are able to be contemporary when it comes to technique. We finish the dish with a strawberry or raspberry crisp. This is just fruit and sugar. We melt it and finish it in the oven for a nice crispy decor that provides another textural component to the dish and a visual complement to the spherification. So, in the end, we get a very local dish, very fresh, close by. In other words, we don't travel far at all to get all of these components. This is one of the core ideas here, the proximity of ingredients to our kitchen.
Spaniards take delight in this course. From whimsical modernist sweets like Dani Garcia's strawberry meringue wrapped in spun sugar, or to traditional Andalusian desserts like Juan Luis Salcedo's classic gachas, or sweet pudding with fried bread. These dishes are all Andalusian through and through. Incredible dishes like these are just a sampling of Andalusia's gastronomy. Wherever you go in the region, even in inland mountain villages, you find the same attention to detail and the same focus on quality handed down through the generations.